Hello, everyone, and welcome to. Actually, you know what? I should pause because I know something's editing that.
Yeah.
And, hello, everyone, and welcome to the sixth episode of the Sonrisa Dance Podcast. I have a good guest and a fun conversation. I feel like I have one of my close friends here in the dance community.
Where?
Who's this guy?
No.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you who may not know who he is, do you want to give a brief introduction of who you are?
My name's Mike Zuniga. I'm the director of Paso de Oro Dance Company.
Oh my God, no.
I also DJ at Steven's Steakhouse.
Clearly, you can see what I mean by fun.
No, my name's Juan. Some of you guys may know me from social dancing, or you guys may have seen me around the dance scene here and there. I've been a little bit absent as of
recently,
late.
yeah.
But you might have also seen me perform with Latin Rhapsody at one point, back when that was a dance company under Ruben Ochoa, and then most recently with the Sucias project. That has also been a minute. It's been since the end of January.
But that was fun, and that's something I really enjoyed. But just starting off just because it's funny, I was noticing even with my last interview, sometimes I don't even bother to ask, or at least I haven't gotten to the question before where it's like, oh, how long have you been dancing, or what got you into dancing?
What got me into dancing? Like social dancing or just dancing in general?
If they were different, what got you into just dancing?
Okay, so I was living on the streets and I needed to make some money. And there was a pole. No, what was it? For me, I think, and I used to ask people the same question all the time, and I felt like it always came, or one of the most common answers would be quinceañeras.
Oh, really?
That was for me. That was it for me. Quinceañeras were, I remember the first one that I ever came out in, my mom did not give me a warning at all as to how this was going to end up going down. Like, it's like when you tell your dog that you're going to the park, but you're actually taking them to the vet to get fixed. That's what I felt like, and that's what I compared to. I forgot where my mom told me that we were going, but then all of a sudden, we pull up to this house, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I thought she was, visiting one of her friends.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, you're going to be in a quinceañera. I was like, says who? I don't dance. What's happening? But that was my first little bit of exposure to dancing, and then after that, I was kind of whored around as a chambelan. Yeah.
Okay, so you just learned just performance stuff, and that's kind of what you started with.
Kind of performances in quinceañeras are a little bit more different than team performances. They're I feel like a little bit more mellow, although there is that kind of pressure of you guys better get it right on the day of, or else I'm gonna kill you.
Which is really funny. They I feel like when it comes to that, they put such high standards, but then it's not when you're comparing to what we see sometimes on some of these performance stages, it's just man, these parents are really gung ho about you. Don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck this up. Do not show up late to practice. I told you 2 times to wear different types of shoes and all kinds of stuff. Cut your hair this certain type of way. I had an instance with that about even my hairstyle. Back then.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, it's parents.
It's
parents really care about how you look to other parents.
Exactly. Well, not only that, it's the quinceañeras parents too, and to a certain extent, I can kind of understand because they're investing so much money into this day.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just a whole nother conversation on itself. But that was my first exposure to dancing, and I think I got a little bit of. I don't know the lyrics to the song. I thought I was going to be able to sing. No, but I got a little bit of waltz, a little bit of salsa, and a little bit of bachata and some cumbia. And that was just over time. That's what I got. But my first exposure to social dancing, I was in high school. I was in 10th grade. A friend of mine named Jesse, he said one day he came up to me and he was just like, hey, would you like to learn how to dance with me?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, sure, why not? But I was also a little bit confused, so I kind of told him, I was like, wait, are we going to be dancing together? Because I know we're cool and everything, but I don't know if I'm at that level of comfortability. Nowadays, I'll dance with whatever guy.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, I was very kind of just is it okay for me to dance with dude? People are going to look at me weird, whatever. So then,
we all start off that way, which is really funny.
Yeah, but now, if there's a dope salsa song, and if I see our friend Alan, I'm just like, Alan,
dance with me. Alan is always the homie. He's always down. No, if he doesn't see a follow, he's like, lead me. Come on, guys.
He's just like, hey, let's fuck it up. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I was just like, are we going to be dancing together? He was like, no, man, no. My brother wants to teach me how to dance, but I don't want to be the only young kid there. So we were 14, 15 at the time.
Yeah.
And then that brother actually turned out to be Eric Mendoza.
Okay.
Yeah, so Eric Mendoza at the time was
another close friend of ours.
Yeah, another close friend of ours. You guys have most definitely seen him in the dance scene. He's
definitely like learning and doing a lot with kids now.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, most definitely. And he's a really great guy, and so we've been friends for well over a decade now. And he was the one that actually taught me my first basic step. And I don't think Eric thought that I was gonna stick through it. Like, I thought I was just like his brother's friend that was just coming along for like 1 or 2 nights, and then I was just gonna drop it off. But I actually continued. What his brother did.
Especially when somebody who's like been there a little longer, and I mean, I don't know if you've had the same apprehension now that you've danced and if you've introduced it to some other people. Like, oh, I don't know, like they'll come once and you're like, is that enough to get them to stay?
Right. Is this their thing? Are they vibing with this? But yeah, no, I just ended up. I think at the time I wasn't really getting it because like the salsa that I had learned was. I don't even want to say it was commercial salsa because I don't even think that that's the right way to describe it. It was just some sort of weird salsa that wasn't what Eric was teaching me. So I had it in the back of my head that it was just like, I am not going to stop until I'm able to at least get this basic step down and stop tripping over my own feet and stop stepping on my partner's toes. So, and I just kept coming back, and then eventually it just became something that I was doing as a hobby. I wasn't doing it to the extent that I was doing it prior. Like before I stopped social dancing.
Like the peak of like what you were when you were like doing it very consistently, on a weekly basis.
So like, but yeah, that was my first introduction. So I've been dancing. Short answer, even though I've already given kind of a long one. I've been dancing on and off for about 10 years now.
Okay. Well, it's funny because like sometimes like it's one of those things when you look at like people getting introduced to dancing. I'm always very curious to like dig into people who like both on and off, and just like also when you look back at like the time when you like did the most dancing.
Yeah.
And curious that like on what for your personal experience, what do you think made a difference as to why you did it so much during that period versus when you first started or even now? Like what was the big difference?
Damn it, we're really about to get into my life right now. Right. So my mother and my father and I were leaving the opera one night, and we walked into an alley. They were shot, and then I became
okay, Dark Knight.
No, what happened with it? Let me see. So, you and I met around the same time that I was slowly starting to pick up social dancing like more.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
That was a lot of us there's like a big group of us, and that's why we're like really close friends now. And a lot of us at the same time ended up becoming close friends, and then just like exploded with how much dancing we were doing.
Yeah, well, you were very involved with the Cal State Long Beach board with and I don't even remember how I got put onto the Pasadena City College board. But I somehow got put onto it, and then that kind of gave me a sense of purpose. But before that ended up happening, so I was in a relationship. I was 18, 19. It was at the time what I thought was a pretty serious relationship. It ended pretty bad, and I needed something to kind of escape into where I knew that person was not going to find me. Yeah. Like there was no way in hell that she was ever going to show up to this place. And yeah, so I just ended up hanging out a little bit more with Eric, and Eric kind of, once that happened, he was a very big brother type to me. He was just like, all right, we're going to go out, we're going to do this, we're going to get your mind off of things. And then I slowly started kind of getting involved with more people, and then I just started going out dancing, and it was very therapeutic for me. Like I needed something to kind of get my mind off of whatever it was that I was going through at the time. Yeah. And then... let me see. So then after that ended up happening, a friend of mine passed away. And this is where I feel like my, I don't know if ambition is the right word, but my interest in dancing kind of went higher. Yeah. Because one of my really close friends, his name is Dylan, he passed away, unfortunately, in February. It's going to be 6 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only reason that I put it two and two together because this upcoming May is also going to be 6 years from the first Noche de Fuego.
Yeah. Because again, like we met, and then like the whole ramp up happened like back in 2014, I believe.
Yeah, 2000 like 13, 14. Yeah.
13, 14. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, 13 fall, and then going into spring 14.
14.
Yeah. Because I took a lot of inspiration for that first event from Latin Motions because I was going to Latin Motions a lot.
Yeah.
So I was going to Latin Motions, USC Break on 2. Yeah. I was going to Stevens a lot. Oh, PCH too, out in Long Beach. I remember the Long Beach Corner.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's on occasion when Long Beach people, Cal State Long Beach people, students, go to PCH Club. We tend to like always go in the same spot.
And then Alan and I have gone, like we've gone a few times, and then if it's just him and I, and then maybe we'll see some other people that we know, but then we look over at the corner and we're just like, hey fool, you remember that? Like, nobody's there anymore.
Remember when there was like 20 people there?
Yeah,
like every
we were having a good time, and
oh man,
they're all adults. And,
but no, I remember you like really ramped up, like because again I met you that like fall 2013 or whatever, and then I think it was 2014. Like you were coming to especially all of our Long Beach stuff because we were promoting a lot.
Yeah.
And like sharing and doing all that marketing. I guess,
exactly.
In a way,
Long Beach was an army. Like that's how it was. Like
that year, man.
And I feel like not even just that year. Like, oh, by the way, guys, this podcast is brought to you in part by T-Spots.
No, it's not.
Come on, bro, you got to plug. We're gonna figure this out.
I mean, they're not sponsoring us. They could. I don't think they know who I am, but
they will. They will. Just put hashtag T-Spots when you post this up. So my friend Dylan ended up passing away, and my friend Dylan was he was the type of person that spoke very highly about his friends. Now, back then, I can confidently say, now that I've grown as a dancer, because I've seen some videos of me dancing back then, I'm just like, oh, Juan, what's up, dude? I see videos of me dancing now, I'm like, Juan, what are you doing?
I have like one video of like back, even slightly before I met you, like a video of me dancing with somebody in 2012, I believe. It's like the oldest video I can find of me dancing, and oh man, like how often I just get off time in that video. I'm just like, and just how like stiff I am when I'm moving, and I understand looking back.
But at the time when you were in that moment, you're like, "Hey, I'm fucking killing it right now."
Yeah,
like,
you can even hear at the end of the video like me and somebody else like talking like, "Oh, that was good, cool."
And that's what it is, bro. I mean, like in terms of technique probably not. Probably not. But in that moment, you were killing it, and you were just in there. You're like, I'm owning this. Yeah. If this is offbeat, I'm gonna own it offbeat.
Yeah, I wasn't so hypercritical. Like I had to do everything perfect. The dance itself was so fun, and I still look at that video very fondly.
Yeah, and that's good because you just see how much, like whenever there's a time in which you feel like you haven't progressed as a dancer and you feel like maybe you've been, like you plateaued for so many years, like go back and look and you'll be like, nah, like how much have you improved, and it's crazy.
So I honestly recommend a lot of dance, especially the ones who are, like if you're like barely starting off, record yourself as often as possible because sometimes it's nice to see that growth. Yeah. And like again, that I have my earliest video is 2012, but I've been dancing since 2007. Yeah, 2007. I don't have any videos of anything like before 2012.
Well, I mean, then again, we're also in a day and age, or I feel like maybe 2012, maybe a little bit before that. You have like, that's when people really started like pulling out like those nice camera phones and everything. Like there's
become more part of like everyday life.
And I know for a fact. So going back to Eric, I feel like I'm going to mention Eric quite a few times. Eric, I love you. No, I know that there's a like Eric is the type of person to record everything, and he's probably one of the only reasons as to why there's videos of me out there. And he knows I'm personally one of those types of people that does not like being recorded when I'm dancing. Like I hate it, but like, and I think because Eric gasses me up when I'm doing it, and then I see the camera and I'm just like, dude, stop, but keep going. That's so but funny. Like I like gassing you guys up when you guys dance. You heard me across the dance.
That's funny.
Nick.
That's funny. I don't mind the camera. It's when that happens I'm just like, no, look. Why are you making a scene?
I'm seeing this, Nick. That's ooh.
And I'm just like, chill. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm not performing.
You need to go to church tomorrow because that was dirty. Nick.
Oh God, no!
You need to stop. No, but yeah. So my friend was a huge supporter of his friends, and he thought that I was just an amazing dancer, and that's what he would tell anybody that wasn't within the dancing. Like Martin, my friends call me by my middle name, which is Martin. So official name is Juan Martin Torres. So they call me Martin, and they were he would always be very supportive. So when he passed away, and at the time I was the PCC event planner, so I kind of just put everything into that event. And I don't know if you remember the first Noche de Fuego.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
The 2 dance floors, the cops showing up and
shouting. Stuff. We had to stop downstairs for a little bit.
Yeah, and it was just like, what is going on?
I just remember just because. I think one of the things that I remember about that, because it was wintertime, of course.
Spring.
It was springtime. Never mind. Oh, never mind. I'm remembering the second Noche de Fuego. I remember. Just because I remember that one specifically because like Peter played some like bachata remix of like the Frozen song.
Yeah. I remember that. Let It Go because Frozen was big.
Yeah, but I do remember that first event and the whole getting shut down.
Yeah,
I was upstairs, I believe, when everything was happening.
And that bachata room was hot. Like we didn't think that like so many people were gonna be. Because I think at the time bachata was starting to come up, like it was most definitely gaining traction, but we were a salsa club, so we thought people were going to be more into the salsa. But no, that room was full, and then we had to shut it down because it was getting too loud for the neighbors.
And I think that's one of the things that I really liked about what you did, and I feel like you did learn a lot from what Long Beach was doing at the time, and that's why I thought really highly of like Noche de Fuego when you first started it, especially because I remember you bringing up the event to me, and like one time me, you, and Jen were like, our friend Jennifer were like walking back to our cars or whatever after a Long Beach meeting, a weekly like class.
Because I used to go to those.
Yeah, that's when you were going a lot. You were going to all of our things, including our weekly meetings.
Yeah, I might as well have just applied to Cal State Long Beach.
Yeah, he was officially a club member.
Yeah,
but yeah, like I remember you bringing up the fact about like you wanting to do Noche de Fuego. And then like as soon as like you put it out there, like you guys advertised the shit out of it. And that's the reason why there were so many of us, especially like because that was also during the growth of like Cal State Long Beach and a lot of college socials, college salsa or like Latin dance clubs or whatever, and like a lot of them exploded in like I guess memberships or whatever, and so a lot of people started rolling a lot deeper into like a lot of other college socials.
Most definitely.
And obviously, I think you like took really good advantage of like marketing the shit out of
it was just like we're gonna go do this. We're gonna go to USC's event. We're gonna go to Long Beach. We need Long Beach because they have an army. We need to bring them down. And then so I remember I would take people with me from PCC, and we would all just like caravan down to Long Beach because there was quite a few people back in the day when we would go. And then, Northridge. Northridge was another one.
Oh, yeah.
But Northridge at the time, or I still think to this day, they don't have a club. It's a team, right?
Which is interesting.
Yeah. So then there was no club meetings for me to be able to go to, but I made sure that as a club, we went to go support Northridge.
Yeah.
And kind of that way they would come to our event.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the things that, I mean... Like I obviously we both graduated, so I don't know too much about the college scene anymore and what's going on with that. Because I haven't really been to too many college socials anymore. I know you still like at least you go to the Noche de Fuegos when you can.
I didn't go to Noche de Miami, and I have personal reasons as to why I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. They changed the name. That's one of those things.
Is that You're like, this is my baby. You renamed it.
Exactly. Like this is one of those things where I was just like, this is my baby, and for a little while it took. I took it pretty hard because that board we worked really hard to get that off the ground. I remember it was Rebecca Pimentel, Eric Mendoza, Chris Abril, Pedro Castro, who you guys know from the dancing, who takes incredible photos.
Yeah. Thank you always for the photos.
Yeah, dude, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
And let me see, myself, we had our friend Billy. Billy, do not be mad. I feel like your last name is Jimenez, and I don't want to be rude and look at my phone and look it up. And then we also had this girl named Natalie, who was a part of our board. But we all worked together. Of course, there were some tense times, but I feel like the end product was what made us so proud of it.
Yeah.
But then I also started to realize that over these last few months, it's like that's something that I'm not involved with anymore. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I had a good time while we had it going.
Yeah, and same. Like I mean, I obviously I graduated a couple of years ago, and like on occasion I'll stop by and still support like my old like club and the things that I poured hours and hours into.
Yeah.
But and it's funny because like I go back to that and. I mean, I slightly mentioned even before, like, I hit record, that, like, sometimes I feel like some of these events now that, like, we, like, invested a lot of our times in, like, oh, like they're declining in for clubs membership counts and for events like attendees that are going to all these like monthly socials or like once a semester socials or whatever.
Right.
And so sometimes like I wonder like, oh, like I think they don't. I wonder if they realize that one of the things that like made us want to come together is because we created a community where we felt like wanted. We like there's a big difference between like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to the social or we're going to the social.
Right.
And so you're going for your friends, not really yourself, or to promote.
Yeah, and we still have that. We have a chat.
Yeah.
Where it's just like somebody will be like, hey, who's going to Unified? Roll call. Who's going to Unified tonight? And then everybody who's going, oh, I'm going to that, and then you kind of like already know who's going to be where.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that like that also like helped out at the time, at least for us from Cal State Long Beach, because I remember we started a specific group chat for just us from Cal State Long Beach.
Yeah.
A few exceptions, we added a few people. I think you were also part of that group chat.
I might have been. I don't know, but either way, I was.
You keep removing yourself sometimes from some of these
chats.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
which is fine. We spam a lot.
Instead of hitting mute, I'm out.
I need a break. Bye, guys.
I think it's because like even if I were to hit mute, like I'm very. I have like a. Why am I blanking on what it is?
What, the OCD thing?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say ODST, but I'm like, that's an orbital drop shock trooper from Halo. OCD.
OCD.
About like messages. So like if I see anything more than like 70, like I want to go through them.
Yeah, no, so like I have the very similar thing. Like even if it's like a notification, like, oh, okay, I see it. I don't have to click the icon. I have to click the icon to make that like number disappear.
It's just like, cool, we did something. It's gone. And then I turn on my phone again. 80 more.
just leave the group.
Yeah, I'm out. Bye, guys.
But I really did like that. And you'd have to tell me. I don't know if all of you guys at here over in Pasadena had like a similar thing where we would like check on each other, like, oh, who's going to this thing, or did you guys just text, or did you just?
It was just text. It wasn't even a chat. So it'd be more like I feel like it came down to board members, and that was another thing. So going back to the whole like low attendance in events and then low numbers in members for clubs. It all comes down to the board members. I feel like aside from the fact that there has to be a sincere and general interest in an activity, there also has to be kind of like, as board members, you're the leaders of that club.
Yeah.
So if club members see you guys going out and wanting to kind of like bring them along, then they'll go out. But if they see you guys kind of like, oh, well, it's okay, well, like, whatever, then it kind of just brings morale down a little bit, and then it kind of just makes people feel like, okay, so why am I doing this?
Yeah, I think, and like, I think the important thing out of that is definitely like, you need to first get people's attention. You need to be out a lot.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but you have to create a relationship.
Exactly.
Otherwise, why would they ever do anything?
Exactly. Right? And then just like you said, it created a community for us to kind of, we all have different interests. Yeah. I can say that up until like maybe recently, a year or 2 years ago, I'm going to be honest, and I feel really bad about this because I'm a bad friend. So I didn't really take the time to really get to know people within the dancing. Like, I knew that we had this interest that brought us together and like small similar interests, but then I'm just like, our friend Ricardo, where the fuck are you from? Like, I have no idea where you're from, what it is that you do outside of this. Like, do you like Halo? Like, do you play Dungeons and Dragons? Are you a My Little Pony fan? Do you study astrology for fun? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like that's like with making any new friends sometimes, or like any acquaintances or people like you work with and stuff. Like, you'll talk to them a lot, but then you're like, I don't really know you.
Yeah, it's just like,
which is why at the very beginning, like, a lot of us felt very comfortable with calling each other, we're just dance friends.
Yeah. Oh, DFs.
DFs.
I have my DFs.
I have my DFs.
My dance friends. But yeah, no, that's very true. And but relationships over time do kind of grow, and I think my dance relationship started kind of to evolve once I started joining teams. Like, aside from me just like going out with you guys to events and even like going to festivals, because that was another thing. Once you break that barrier from the college scene into like,
The regular Latin
the
dancing.
regular Latin dancing, it's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
And, filled with really great memories, blacked out nights, lots of alcohol here and there. Just
if you choose to drink, not everyone drinks, which is perfectly fine.
Everyone drinks.
Well, we're terrible influences. Like, you have an inkling of like, maybe I'll take a shot here.
5, 6, 7, 8. Like that one's really bad.
God, you guys starting that. But yeah.
No, yeah. It's a whole nother world essentially within that Latin dance scene. Like the college scene is a great like first step, but then once you get into like the festivals, like you start learning all kinds of new things about the Latin dance scene, and you start kind of expanding your horizons, and you do end up making some really great friendships along the way.
Yeah.
And I feel like me being a part of a team kind of really helped with some social anxiety that I did have within the Latin dance scene. It's weird whenever I talk to people about my anxiety or me being like, it's just like people are just like, Juan, we don't see that. I'm like, bitch, it's because I'm faking it till I make it. Like,
you have a very like brighter and like more like I don't know, just bigger energy.
Yeah, no, I'm dying on the inside.
Oh, goodness.
I'm at Stevens, I'm dying. I'm just like, where are my friends?
Don't leave me.
Where'd they go?
Oh goodness.
So
which I get. I know some like I'm very extroverted, and I recognize my like I can show up and my friends are like cool guys, and then I come back in the other night. It was great, guys.
Yeah. But now for me it's just like maybe you'll take notice of it.
No, and I have like I have noticed, and you're not the only people. You're not the only person. There's a couple other people in our like close group of friends. Whenever like we find a corner and we like steal it or like harbor over it.
Yeah, I'm just like
I can tell that like the people who are more introverted, which is fine. They'll stay in our one group and they don't tend to go very far.
Exactly. So it's just like, and then I've had some instances where I think maybe Eric told me once where it was just like, oh dude, you don't maybe you don't seem approachable, because I'll just be standing there kind of like with my arms crossed, and I feel like I'm not giving that energy. I'm just like, no bro, I'm protecting myself, like I don't know what's going on right now. Like and it's so whenever somebody asks me to dance, like I'm just like, oh cool, like like yeah, I'm with it, like unless I'm like really comfortable and I know like like Evie, Sam, Megan, Cassandra, who else do we got in our group? Michaela. I do not want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
Etc.
Is it what makes you anxious? Just the social interaction, like the talking and stuff like that, or does even dancing itself sometimes still make you feel anxious?
I think just the social interaction of it all. Like I don't know what it is. Like I feel like. And I a lot of it has to do with me, because Eric has told me too. He's like, you need to smile more when you dance, and I'm very self-conscious of my smile. So that's why I don't smile at all. I'm having a great time. Like I'm over here, like trying to hit as many beats as I can. Trying to make the dance as fun as I can for other people. And then I have girls that or like follows that do smile at me, and I don't smile back, and I feel bad. And this is nothing against any of you. I promise. It's more just like I just don't want to show my teeth. It's just one of those things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously definitely always for promoting and encouraging people to definitely be more genuine, smile, to show expression. You don't necessarily have to show your teeth. I definitely still recommend smiling.
Like
whatever. Or at least in some way show like crinkle your eyes or whatever.
Like
show
a grin.
Like a grin. But just to let like your partner know that you're having a good time, because sometimes.
Can I just tell them I'm having a good time?
Yeah, you can.
Just be like, I'm having so much fun right now.
You can, actually, and that's perfectly fine. Like, if words make you feel more comfortable, I still encourage that, just because I feel like sometimes when you're dancing with somebody, and that's the reason why, one of the reasons why I smile and why I started smiling is because I mentioned it once already that, like, I danced with somebody and I just, like, not only did they not smile, but, like, there was no form of contact at the end. The dance ended and they just, like, walked away without looking at me, and it made me feel like I didn't matter. Like you would have been better off not dancing. And stuff. So, but there and sometimes I'll have almost similar dances to that, but at the very end of the dance, I'll be like, that's when the smile randomly comes out. Oh, thank you so much for the dance, and I'm just like, okay, that makes you like feel better. Okay, you enjoyed dance, and,
right,
and that makes up for it. So even that little gesture makes such a difference.
Well, I'll go ahead and take that into consideration the next time I go out social dancing in like 5 business months, because I need to figure this out for myself.
Which is fine.
Yeah. But another thing for me also, I have anxiety with asking people to dance.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Oh man. I've been rejected so many times at Steven's Steakhouse. Yeah. Like, I feel like that is the one place where I've gotten rejected the most.
Yeah.
And it always hurts my feelings. Regardless of how many times it's happened over, like, it's hurt. But there was this one time, and it happened at Reno Latin Dance Fest, which, by the way, guys, if you've never been to Reno,
seriously,
go. Especially if you're an alcoholic. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's a great festival. Maybe. Options for everybody, and just
like so many options in terms of dancing, workshops. Like there's like great food around the hotel.
I don't know if I've ever been like as a performer backstage and been to an event that's been more organized than that.
Oh, professional, dude! Whenever it is that they tell you like, okay, you guys are queued up. You guys have 5 seconds. Go.
Yeah.
Like the lights are just like, and like they're wearing their headset and everything.
It feels so on top
instead of just having someone in the back. Los amigos, where are you guys? Okay, all right, cool. You're gonna wait. No, not when the lights go out. As soon as they walk off, you go. You know.
Yeah.
But I love the whole 3-stage thing. Like for me, it's just like one performance over here, then over here, then over here. Anyway,
so, we'll get back to that. But yeah, so your Reno dance.
There was this girl in the bachata room, right, and I was going up to her and I was gonna ask her to dance, and I tapped on her shoulder, right, and I was just gonna ask her to dance, and then she turns around and just yells at me, "Wait!" in front of everyone. I'm just like, okay, and then like she like grabs Jay Gonzalez and pulls him out to dance, and I was like, but it was like a very angry kind of wait, and for me I was like, let me go find my friends. This is why I don't leave my corner. Yeah. This is, it's like I'm Marlin from Finding Nemo. I don't
Oh God.
But like that, I remember that one being kind of like, oh damn, that hurt. And I don't know if it was more the fact that she had said like, well, she told me to wait, but then again, like she didn't end up dancing with me later on that night.
Yeah, which is fine. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. But it was more just the way that she did it. I was just like, that one is kind of. But then again, I don't know how long she was waiting to dance with Jay.
Yeah, they're like clearly like again like what it's like one of the things like I always try to be I'm trying to be a little more empathetic and like understand like somebody else's like try to understand where they were at like again they were like you were mentioning maybe she was waiting for a long time, maybe people kept cutting her off and or like people kept asking her to dance and she was like and then like missed her.
She was like, I need to get to Jay.
Yeah, we don't know what was going on through her head to like make her like react so aggressively,
right?
For just as far as I know, you just asked once and like gave you that response. So we just don't know. But yeah, like the whole asking thing, I know that gets a little difficult, especially for a lot of people who are starting off. I know that's
I've been starting off for 10 years now because I'm still kind of just building up that courage. Like I'm gonna do this. Next song.
Well, I mean, it takes a level of comfort also in like what you do. Well, I mean, for me at least, that's like. I notice a lot of times I stopped being so worried about asking someone, getting no, when I'm like a little more comfortable with the dance.
Yeah.
When I like judge myself a little less. So like even though I don't feel like I'm like one of the greatest like bachata or salsa dancers, like I feel fairly confident in my dance when I go out dancing. And
I'm gonna stop you right there. This guy is one of the best salsa and bachata dancers that I've seen. In LA, hands down. I can't really say everywhere that I've gone because I've only gone to 2 festivals, and that's LABF, which is Steven's Steakhouse on steroids. And then I'll be real